All right, let's take a look at the dual hub thing. Now, what is dual hub? Basically, if you look at this topology over here, I don't have a topology per se, but I'm going to use the same base setup. So I have 5 different devices over here. This is my NHS. And if this NHS goes down, guess what? The entire topology is gone. So one of the things that you could potentially do is have multiple NHS devices. So the way you set it up is very similar to what we did. It's not that big of a deal. The only difference is, the only thing that you need to keep in mind is when you set this up, the 2 NHSs that you're going to form, let's say in my case, I'm going to set up router 1 and let's say router 5 as my 2 NHSs. And then I have my spokes. In this case, it would be R2, R3, and R4. The first thing that I would do is set up a static MGRE type of neighbor relationship between R1 and R2 and get them up and running. So I have a static neighbor relationship between R1 and R5. Once that's done, then I can go ahead and do my dynamic neighbor relationships between my R2, but I'm going to point to both of them as my NHS servers. It's not like one is primary, the other one is secondary. It is basically an active-active scenario. I'm going to do it with both of them. Both of them become my routing hubs. So I'm going to receive the same route from both locations. If I'm doing spoke to spoke, it really doesn't matter. I'm not going to forward the traffic through the hubs anymore. Anyways, my traffic is going to be moving between the spokes like that. So I'm not utilizing the hubs or the NHSs for my data plane. So that's what my objective over here is. All right, router 1 and router 2 as my NHSs. So to do that, the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to stop my routers. So we have a clean slate over here. I'm going to set up R1 and R5 as my 2 hubs. Start it again. So they're blank now. Start from scratch. Router 1, router 2, 3, 4, and 5. All right, so the 5 routers are up over here. To set it up, I'm going to do it in Notepad first and paste it because that will help me in speeding it up. R1, as I said, I need to set up a tunnel in a static manner between R1 and R5, the 2 NHS devices. So step 1, static MGRE between what? Actually, I can just copy one of the hubs and then make a change. I did MGRE over here. Okay, perfect. Right here. But only between what? The 2 NHSs. So 1.1, this is okay, this is okay. I just need a map to R5. But I'm going to do the other stuff as well. IP NHRP map 190 multicast to 192.50.5 because I do want to run the, what do you call it? The routing protocol between R1 and R5. And because I know I'm going to be doing it for my clients as well, map multicast dynamic as well for my client portion. I want to do NHRP redirect for my clients. No IP, what do you call it? Split horizon. PIGRP 111. That should take care of most of the things that I need to do over here, and then run the routing protocol. Tell me if you guys are okay with this. This is your basic tunnel configuration. Map multicast, map the unicast towards my static hub. Map multicast towards the static hub. Map multicast dynamic towards my clients. NHRP redirect for the phase 3, which is the preferred one. No IP split horizon EIGRP 111, which I would always do with the EIGRP. And then router EIGRP. Let's set this up on R1. Done. And then we can do R5, which is going to be very similar. 1.5, map to 1, and the static mapping for 1, for multicast, dynamic for my clients, IP NHRP redirect, no split horizon for EIGRP, and the routing. Same thing, just changed a couple of parameters. And I should have liftoff in terms of a relationship of EIGRP between 1 and 5. Alrighty then. So I have a full static relationship between my two hubs. Thank you. Done. Now what about my clients? The client, I'll just copy one of the clients over here. And I'll show you the difference. All right, interface on R2. This is okay, this is okay, this is okay. NHS, now I have two NHSs. One and 5. I have two maps. One and 5. And I have two multicasts because I want to send it to both. 1 and 5. And because I want to do that phase 3, IP NHRP, shortcut. And that's it. So whatever I did for 1, I now need to do it for 2. So now if I do this on R2, I should establish a neighbor relationship with both my hubs. My registration will be on both. Show IP route, EIGRP, I have 10.1 and 10.5. If I go to 1, show IP NHRP, I have the mapping for 2, which was dynamic. For 5, I had done it statically for my other device. Here, I would do the same thing. Show IP NHRP, I have the 1 as static and 2 as dynamic. How about the other client? Router 3, change the IP, the rest of it is exactly the same. Copy it, go to 3, paste it. Should have set up 2 neighbor relationships for EIGRP. Show IP route, EIGRP. So 10.2 is via 5 and 1. Notice it seems like it's doing load balancing, but it really doesn't matter because my trace route, I want to send it directly to 10.2 because of that next hop override. So source of 10.3, let's take a look. Initially, because of the resolution, it sends a resolution to both, and then it sends a packet direct. From once this is done, guess what? I'm going direct anyways. I'm not going through the hub. The first time I went and sent the same request to both, one of them responded back first, so that's why I got it. But now I'm going direct. So now it doesn't really matter which one is up. I'm going to send it to both. So it's not a primary, secondary. It's more of an active-active, which is even better. So 4 and the rest of the config is the same. This is the only one that I've seen it, to be honest with you. This and FlexVPN, which is similar to this. It's NHRP basically that's doing it. Show IP route, EHRP, same thing over here, and do a trace. I haven't done it over here. 10.2, 10.4. Now should be direct. And that's your override. Do you understand what I did over here? So the steps are very simple. Configure MGRE between the NHS devices, and then it's just sending it to both. So probably one of them is responding back first. So step one was static MGRE between the NHS devices. Step two, I would say, is my clients. Configure the clients with NHS pointers and configs towards both the NHSs. And that's what I've done over here.